Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is just going to be a quick ramble update about just things that have been going on with me. So first thing, I just got done working out, which is something I have not done in quite a while. Actually, that's a lie. I started last Friday. So I joined a group. I paid to join a group, a metabolic renewal. I don't know if you've heard of it. But anyway, I'm trying that out. I've tried a lot of things in the past. So growing up, I dealt with a lot of depression, and when I grew up basically in the same home until I turned 12. And then from there, my parents moved us to a completely different side of town. I would say that the first years of my life where I lived in a lower middle class area, just hardworking families, kids who were in the same kind of financial bracket that I was in. And then my parents moved us to a very wealthy neighborhood. My dad owned his own business for years, did very well for himself, and he moved us up there. However, we still struggled financially. It was very depressing for me. It was a very hard time for me, and it wasn't about money. It was about inclusion. I just felt very not included because my parents didn't have the financial ability for me to join the things, the classes and groups and things. I made it onto the volleyball team in high school, and my parents didn't have the money for me to join. And so I told them, well, that's okay. I'd rather be a manager. I'd rather just work with the team. And so that's how I was on the volleyball team in high school. I told them, no, I don't want to be on the team. I want to be a manager, because you didn't have to pay to be a manager. So that's how I did that. I don't know why it's upsetting to me now, but anyway, so I gained a bunch of weight from about the age of 12 to about the age of 15. And then when I was in high school, I just kind of became angry, and I focused that anger into daily workouts, which I then became obsessed with. I worked out 7 days a week. I couldn't sleep at night if I didn't work out. So even if all I did was ran in place in my bedroom for 15 minutes, that's what I did. I had to do it. I was obsessed with it. And I then became a vegetarian. And that came about because my dad is a hunter. I grew up on trout and rabbit and deer and elk, but I no longer eat those things. I'm not a vegetarian. I'm not. I do eat some meat, but it's just not my favorite. It's more of a texture thing to me, and it's also, I've seen how it's harvested, and that just, I didn't like that. Anyway, so there's that. So I just got done doing my second workout now. I worked out last Friday, and then Saturday I was kind of forced, not really forced, but I chose to take a walk due to circumstances I'll get into in just a second. So I got that workout in on Saturday, and I'll tell you what, Sunday I felt it this morning. But I got up this morning and I did my second workout with this metabolic renewal group. I also did, there's an app that you can get if you are working on your physical body, and it could be for toning up, losing weight, anything. It's called Scan 360. Hang on one sec. I'm gonna look at my phone and hang on. Sorry. Actually, I was just watching Southern ASMR sounds, and I just thought I've got to do another video. Oh, it's Me 360. METHREE Sixty. Anyway, it is a really cool app. You can get it in the Play Store, and it will do a body. You can do a body scan, and it basically gives you a really weird image of yourself. But it measures out it gives your body fat total, your arm measurements, your leg measurements, and then you just, as you progress, you do more body scans, and it shows you your progress. And I'm really excited. Honestly, doing my body scan today was it was something I didn't want to do. I gotta be serious. It was something I didn't want to do because I know what I see in the mirror. I'm not blind. I know I'm overweight. I know I'm fat. I know I'm whatever. I'm obese. I'm in the obese category. And after I lost all that weight in high school, I still didn't fit in. Like I still, I don't know. I just didn't fit in. My friend, who had been my friend all through junior high, just abandoned me, just ghosted me. Ghosting wasn't a term back in the 90s, but she ghosted me, and it hurt. And I spent more time around my family, hung out with my family from other schools, got myself together, kind of, was in a relationship, had a daughter, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, anyway, long story short, I gained the weight back, went through postpartum depression, which is real. Don't be ashamed about it. Talk to your doctor, get the help you need. Trust me, it's not worth going the rest of your life living with that depression because it doesn't just go away. My oldest daughter is 27, and I got postpartum depression after I had her, and I finally started getting treatment for that depression, which didn't go away. A couple years ago, so 25 years, I went with dealing with daily depression. It sucks. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Okay, so the other updates I have, not really updates, more stories. So my granddaughter has been wanting a clamper, which is an LOL clamper. You can look up unboxings. They're ridiculous. Anyway, because they're $100, $110, $120, I thought, well, I'm going to look on my local website to see if I can find something that's for sale. Unopened, of course, because it has all the surprises. You want to open it and do an unboxing or whatever, but you want it to be all together and unused. So I bought her one, and it was from a freight shipment. So, the box was damaged, but she's 4. Who cares, right? The clamper, everything, whatever. She was excited. So I make arrangements to go pick it up, and I hop in my car, and I'm like, oh, I've got to get gas. And so instead of hopping on the freeway, thank heavens, I took the side streets, and I went to a gas station, and I stopped my car, and I put in some gas, and I go in it and try to start it back up, and nothing. And then I turn the key, and I get lights, and then nothing. So I have to message this lady. I'm so sorry. I'm running late. My car is acting up, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I call my sister-in-law, who lives 3 blocks from where I'm at. And I'm like, hey, can you and your boyfriend, she's my ex, my brother's ex, can you and your boyfriend come and jump my car? I don't know what's going on. And she's like, sure. So they run down there. So they get there, they jump my car. It's going great. Until I go to turn to get out of my parking to where the gas pumps are. And I realize I don't have any power steering. So my car short circuiting has caused my power steering to no longer work. My ABS lights are flashing. My brake light is flashing. Everything's flashing. And I'm like, okay, well, it's running. So I'm going to take it home, and I'm going to grab my other car. So I take my Toyota home. In the meantime, my dad's calling me and saying, hey, do you need me to come pick you up? Blah, blah, blah. No, I'm okay. Let me get my car home. So go and get my granddaughter's toy. I run to the grocery store. I come back home. I parked my car in front of my house. I have a fully fenced in yard, so at night after my husband gets home, because he brings his work truck home, he pulls that in and then I park in front of him. I go to start the car to pull it in, and it's dead. There's nothing. So that's 2 cars in basically 12 hours. So I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. My husband goes out and he goes, it's the battery. The battery's dead. The battery that's in it is that old one that I pulled out of X, Y, and Z vehicle. And it's the battery. I know it's the battery. So I'm like, okay, great. So he said, when I get off work tomorrow morning, I will go and get it. Because as of right now, that car it was still parked out on the road. So it's like, after I get off work, I will go and get a battery and I'll put it in. He did. The car's fantastic. It's been 6 days. It's great. So actually, it's been more than 6 days. Whatever, who cares? It's been about a week. So that's fine. So I'm like, okay, well, we've got to figure out what's wrong with my other car. And so he goes and turns it on and he's like, I don't know, it's running, it started. And I'm like, yeah. I said, go start it and take the cables off the battery. And as soon as he took the cables with the car started, I don't know how all this works, so don't trust what I'm saying. This is what we're going off of from past experience. So we took the battery cables off of the battery as it's running, and it immediately died. And so I'm like, I think that's the alternator, because the alternator is what keeps your vehicle going. It's not the actual battery. Shouldn't be the actual battery, actually. So, okay. So thankfully, the battery for the other car costs like almost $200, but the alternator is less than $100. So, hallelujah. So we're gonna replace that. Well, Saturday rolls around, and here's where I went on that walk that I wasn't planning on going on. My husband has a Harley, and we went for a ride. Now, we went out to dinner first, and then we went for a ride. And I'm like, you know what? I'm good. Let's go. Being a bigger woman, it's not always very comfortable to ride on the back of the Harley. It's just not. So, I'm like, there's no shame in I know, like I said, I know I'm a bigger woman, whatever. But riding on the back of a Harley when you have the sissy bar and the metal is right there, it can get uncomfortable. So we are on our way home, and we are about 20 blocks from our house. And my husband goes to take off from a stoplight, and all of a sudden the back just started fishtailing, and it was obvious we had a flat tire. Well, the motorcycle broke down at a car dealership. So he took the bike to the back and was like, hey, can you try pumping up my tire? I don't know what's wrong with it. And it wouldn't hold air. So fortunately, about 3 months ago, we had purchased a new inner tube, because motorcycle tires take inner tubes inside of the tire. So we had purchased an extra one and a liner to go around. We didn't need to use it, thankfully, but we got, he brought the bike home without me on it. He himself took it home. Didn't ruin the tire, didn't ruin the rim. He was very careful. But as I was sitting there waiting for him, I was like, this is a prime opportunity for me to get in a walk, which I should be doing anyway. But it's out of my comfort zone to have people watch me, which, being on YouTube, I feel like I'm anonymous enough that you watch me, I don't know you're watching me. I'm just getting things off my chest or whatever, doing what makes me happy. This makes me happy. Anyway, so I started walking home, and would have stayed at that car dealership and just sat there and waited for my husband, which I could have done. He hopped in my car, came and picked me up, but I called him and I said, hey, I'm here. I'm no longer there. This is, you'll find me along this road. And he's like, wow, you're walking. And I said, yeah, I need to get a walk in today anyway. He's like, okay, cool. My husband's a very supportive man. He never, ever has commented on my weight. It's fluctuated in our marriage. But he's never commented on it, and he loves me regardless, and that makes me feel better about myself. But anyway, so, yeah, that's been my week, and today's Monday, and kind of how my week goes. I quit my job, which I loved the job, hated the company, loved my job very much, enjoyed it, think about going back all the time, but I can't. I will not work for that company ever again. But I get up in the morning and I make my husband breakfast and I make the coffee, and then we sit and we watch TV for about an hour, and then he goes to work. And then we get up at 5. Well, today I knew I had to do this workout, and finally I just said, I just have to do it. I'm just going to do it. It's not a big deal. Let me do it. So I did it. So I'm off to a good start today, and I thought, it's been a crazy week. I'm going to do an update. Why not? I'm still working on the restaurant. Things have just kind of taken a back seat, unfortunately, so I may start out with a food truck of some sort, and we'll see. We'll go from there. I also have a few other things that kind of take precedence over all of that, which is sad, but it's out of my control. But I will. Sorry, this is kind of such a random update, such a random thing to talk about, but kind of a mix of my life over the past week. But anyway, so I hope you have a fantastic week. I know, well, I can't say this, but I was going to say I know my week can't get worse. Yes, it could. It can always get worse. But I'm going to strive for a fantastic